Welcome. You're listening to the Leading Hope Podcast. My name is VJ Williams, here with my friend and pastor, Kevin Jack. Thank you for joining us, taking time out of your day to become a better leader. We release a new episode every Wednesday. We would love for you to subscribe on your favorite podcast platform. Share this with a friend on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. Any other ones?
All of the things.
All the stuff.
MySpace.
You guys are
Threads.
Threads? Threads
X.
is out there. X? Is that what it's called now? It's not Twitter. Are you an X guy?
No, not really.
X Games guy?
I'm not really anything.
You're not
sadly.
really anything?
I know it makes you mad.
You're doing better on Instagram than you've ever done before in your life.
I did a couple days ago.
Yeah, that's good for you. Those are the places you could be.
Wait, literally,
yeah.
can we pause for a second?
Sure. Are we actually stopping? Or are we going?
No. I mean, still recording.
1 second.
Me doing better is like legit. Like, you posted 3 things one day, and that's the only post I made that month.
Yeah.
You're doing better.
Yeah.
Yep. For a day.
Yeah. So we got that going for us, which is nice. Hey, we're so glad that you're here today. Visit leadinghope.online to follow along and get updates and find out more about the Leading Hope community. Today is the last of the 7 conversations of the top almost 11, the top 7 leadership lessons from Pastor Kevin Jack, who I'm sitting across from right now. It's the last one. It's a little bit sad, but it's also exciting. It's episode 203.
We'll see what we do from here.
97 more to 300.
97 more
going for us. Good stuff. So, hey, listen, this is the last one. I'm sure if I know you, you saved the best for last. Yeah. And this is going to be impactful for us and hopefully for someone else.
Yeah, I think this is the one that is maybe the closest to what other people have said.
Okay.
But a couple stories, if I could share, like when I first started in ministry,
You were 12.
I was 12 years old when I first started.
So was Jesus.
In full-time paid ministry. Cool.
Yep.
There we go.
You didn't really acknowledge that, did you?
Helpful distinction. Yeah. I had a day off. I was a youth pastor at the time. And I was taught by people the importance of a Sabbath, a full 24-hour rest period, full day off.
Yeah.
And I can remember, like, I would inevitably, every single time, I'd get a call. Someone would ask me to do something. Even sometimes it was so silly as, like, they just send a text like, hey, when's this happening? Hey, when's that happening? And, like, I know there were, like, some other people who were like, just shut your phone off. You just need to be gone to the world. Like, shut your phone off if it's going to work. But it would, like, for about like 6 months, like 22 at the time, it aggravated me so much. Like, getting disrupted and be like, I've worked all week. I've done all this other stuff. It would aggravate me so much when any of that would get disrupted in there. And
the Sabbath.
Yep.
Okay.
Idea of like, hey, this is your day of rest.
Yeah.
And then it'd be like 1 2-minute thing.
Give me an example.
Oh, seriously, just be as simple as like someone would shoot me a text and like, hey, when's this event?
Okay.
I'm always bothered.
Got it.
Every day. And I know this sounds like so, like I don't know how to say, like, I'm embarrassed to admit this now.
Yeah.
That it emotionally upset me.
Yeah.
It's something as simple as that. Or like someone, honestly, what was more common was people would just pop by the house, mostly teens, which was an interruption and it was a frustration. But looking at it now, it's not that big of a deal. Right. I was their youth pastor.
Yeah.
They didn't care that it was my day off.
No.
And so they just like pop by the house. And I always felt like this sense of like, I'm always working. I'm never able to be off. I'm always working.
Yeah.
And then the thing that I would hear, and this is tee it up so you know where we're headed,
okay,
is I'd hear people talk about the importance of balance.
No.
Having balance in your life, having balance friends and family, having balance work and rest, on and off time, learn and stretch yourself. And I'd always hear the importance of balance. And the phrase that has come out that I am willing to adopt from other people is balance is a myth.
Yeah.
It is this thing that I don't know how it got made up. I don't know how we thought it was something that would happen in our lives, but balance will never actually happen within any single season of your life. So really, really clarify what I'm saying. In any day, in any moment, you will not experience balance based upon that season.
Yeah.
But you can experience balance from the integrated seasons of your life.
Yeah.
And so just to make this like really simple, and I'm sure there's some people who have heard this before. I am also quite confident that there are a lot of people who have never heard this before and they need to hear this. And to say it as like, there is no single, if I look at like a single day, no day has balance. There's a couple things in there. In no day do I perfectly equate the amount of time that I need to spend at my work, developing people, strategizing thinking, at my house, with my kids together, with each individual kid, with my wife, with my whole family together, with only my wife, like with physical health. And so it's just to say like, hey, balance, if I close the window, if I shorten the window in terms of how I'm looking at balance, it will always be elusive. It will never be a reality because it's not a worthy goal. Balance takes place in the duration of seasons of your life. That I have seasons that are heavy for my family, and I have seasons that are more heavy with my wife, and I have seasons that are more heavy with my work. I have seasons in which we're frequent, like we are lifelong friends, but we are seasonal friends.
Yeah.
They're like with your kids' sports schedules and stuff like that. I just know there's some months.
My fault.
I know there's some months.
No, you're exactly right.
That I'm not going to see much of you out of the office.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
And then there's some other months in which I see a ton of you outside the office.
Right.
And I don't get bitter a month being like, V, we never hang out anymore. You never call me. You never text me outside the office.
Yeah.
Because I know it comes back in a different season.
Right.
And I think what happens is,
it's a great analogy.
People get in a heavy season where it's loaded in one, and it will always be loaded in one.
Always.
And then they throw up their hands and their life is out of control and it just doesn't work.
So what's the antithesis of this? What's the I mean, they made a cereal called Balance. That didn't work.
That's funny.
You know what I mean? Like,
I enjoyed that.
Right. I don't know where that came from. It's stupid, but it's funny. What is that? Because, I mean, you're exactly right. Now, I think I know what – I don't know. It's a mindset shift. I think we really can say that. For the friend thing, it's such a good thing because it also works in my life. Like, I am able to be really good friends with you because we are doing something we love for a purpose that we both want to see happen.
And I can be really good friends with you because neither of us have time for needy friends.
Right. It's exactly right. And so I think that's where balance seems to not have to be a huge priority all the time. Seasonally, it can be, like you said. Yeah. But it's based on what you believe you're breathing for.
Yes. Agreed.
And I think that's where people struggle with balance is because they don't have
purpose, and they think,
or if their purpose isn't defined, or
well, if your purpose isn't defined, what you end up thinking is you think your purpose is balance. Yeah. And when balance is a myth, you're always frustrated because you feel like you're not able to do what you're supposed to do.
That's exactly right. And so what is the thing so that we don't leave people? We've got 10 minutes to unpack this. Yeah. That we don't leave people just with the thought that balance is a myth. Sorry, you're stuck.
Well, I would say like the two pieces that come out of that, just like big piece, is one, you need to know purpose. Yeah. You need to know, and
you need to claim purpose. To use our language.
You need to claim purpose before you're going to live it out. Yeah. And I don't want to spend a full 10 minutes on that because we need hours.
Yeah, of course.
To talk about that.
Of course.
But to say like once you have that purpose, once you're clear on purpose, then you understand that your life gets balanced out over the seasons. Yeah. Not ever in a single moment.
It's not a daily or weekly thing. It's a period of time that works itself into your life.
Yep.
Because you're open to the other thing that you're actually here for.
So I look at it and I go, earlier this year, there were 2 projects that were consuming of my time. And I had, for 2 straight weeks, I had, not counting like other stuff, I had over the course of 6 nights, 12 meetings. So that's like a lot.
Yeah.
Like not counting other stuff, not counting Sunday night service, other stuff. And so it was just like, I'd be like, leave Monday. I'd be like, hey, you're not going to see me today.
Yeah.
Tuesday, you're not going to see me today. And it was like that for 2 weeks. And then I was able to clear my schedule in the evenings for 2 weeks. And to say, but like what I find is that people will look at their life in a week and they'll just be like, oh, I've worked so much, or I haven't seen any friends, or I haven't done this. And to go, I believe what they do is they create such a tight window of what balance looks like. And that's not the case.
Yeah.
It plays out over time. And so to go, there's some seasons in which I lose time with my kids. And there's some seasons in which I get all that time back.
Yeah.
And I make sure that that's there. And I don't feel bad. Like, I don't feel bad going on vacation with my family.
Yeah.
I don't feel bad doing stuff with my kids. We were dying at this and some people judge us, but whatever. We had a hilarious interaction with our kids where it was like a Thursday night and we took them to Disney. And then we had like 2 of our kids are like, it's a school night. We can't do this. We're going to lose out on sleep. Nerds. We're going to do this. It was like sleep. This is great. Sleep is a balance thing. Yeah. You're not going to get 8 hours every night.
Right. Yeah.
They've actually found that like,
it's a great lesson for, and you like, yeah.
If I could say, like, they've actually found that out medically. It's not about how much sleep you get in a night. It's how much sleep you get over a 10-day period.
Yeah.
That's actually the key that matters, is to go, lose sleep a night. Lose sleep at night to do something fun, or lose sleep at night to work and to make it happen.
Yeah.
And you'll get it back at another time. You do have to make sure you get it back.
Yeah.
But people just
don't just keep losing sleep.
Yeah. People thin slice their life and they go, my life is so out of balance. And they go, every day it will be.
Yes.
Your job is to not make sure that every day is balanced or every week is balanced.
Yeah.
It's to make sure that over the seasons it becomes balanced.
That's so good, man. I know for myself, like, you know, I'm still working on it. Like, I'm not great at it. You know, I just, you know what I mean? I love the high. You know, work ethic for me is just something that's just, I love it. So it can be bad because you can love your work more than you love the, you know, all the other stuff. But I love that what we're doing has such a high impact on not just what we do, but on the transformation of people's lives. And to watch God do incredible things never gets old. If it does, that's not good for
Correct.
you. For me, I have to conquer the calendar, not on how many meetings I'm going to take in a day or how much work I need to get done. And if I don't get it done, and I'm going to work all night, like not that. Actually, the way I get enough energy to do everything I need to do is I place things on the calendar that I look forward to doing.
Oh, that's good.
And that's enough for me. That's
good.
Not for everybody, right? Some people just need to have extra rest and you got to have nap times and all that stuff. I get it. Like, you know, I get it. But for me, and this is, I think there's a lot of people out there maybe have high energy or high motors, whatever you want to call it, tenacity, all that stuff that are getting burnt out. I've heard that over the last 2 days from other people at different places, not here. And I'm thinking you haven't conquered your calendar enough to put special things that give you energy in life.
That's good.
You know what I mean? I've got a concert, Elevation Worship's going to be over in Tampa next week. That's going to be huge. I got a conference in a couple weeks that I'm going to go to for a couple days. That's on the calendar, right? I've got a weekend with my daughter on a soccer thing that's coming up. Those are already on the calendar.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it. But I'm also looking forward to today because I love that too.
Yeah.
And so I just have to do that for myself. And that's enough for me. Those couple events, that's enough. I'm looking forward to it.
That's good. And today won't be balanced.
No.
But over time, It is.
Yeah, of course.
I look at Bethany and I recently got away for a week.
Yeah, you did.
And yeah, we did.
Well, we did 2 episodes of the repeats.
Part of
it was
that.
awesome.
And part of that, I had a couple massive assignments that were due.
Yeah.
And so we're gone for like 5 days, and I spent a day and a half working on assignments. Now, granted, I was on the beach with I asked her, I was like, hey, I really have to get these done. Are you okay if I do it?
Yeah.
And like, if we were in our 20s, early 20s, just married, I would have been annoyed that I had to work. She would have been annoyed I had to work.
Right.
Her response at this phase in life is like,
yeah,
what better spot to work on assignments than sitting here on the beach? And so I just did it.
Understanding maturity.
Out of delight, like to go, this is, I don't love that I have to do this, but if I'm going to have to do it, at least to do it here.
Right.
And then as soon as those were done, it was away. And to go, it wasn't balanced in a day.
No, you're on a remote island.
It was balanced
like
over time.
On an island that's 9 miles long, you're working on, which you haven't made the announcement yet. You should tell them what you were working on.
I was working on my doctorate.
There you go. So
it didn't need to be an announcement.
Well, I mean,
thank you.
That's what you were doing on your vacation.
Yeah.
Writing, what was it, 2 full days?
Yeah.
2 full days of the, 5 days you were there? 6 days?
Yeah. 5 days.
So of your vacation, you were writing 2 full days on something. And that's not, it's balanced, but it's not balanced. It's both and, not
Correct.
one or.
I will have no problem showing up at 7 a.m. in the office and leaving at 6 p.m. And I will also have no problem showing up at 8 a.m. and leaving at 3 as soon as my kids get off the bus.
Yeah.
And to say, like, I don't feel guilty about those things either way, because if I could share this, there's a time management hack from Michael Hyatt that I'm sure works for tons of people. But the idea was create an ideal week. Set out your calendar, what you're working on, when you're working on, set up your ideal week. And the problem was, as soon as I created it, I was frustrated because I never actually lived out my ideal week.
That's awesome.
It was aggravating to me. And I just realized that practice isn't for me.
Yeah.
It may be for other people. It may be great for you. I am better in the moment, just trying to plan out my time as I think is best, to just be able to gauge it and discern and to go, how much time does my family need? How much time does my work need? How much time do I need? And to just make those decisions and just trust, if you're not lazy, it's okay to organize your life out of where your time should best be spent.
Yeah. What would you say, and we're going to end this here in just a couple minutes. What's the biggest hurdle that someone who hasn't heard that balance is a myth? What's that biggest hurdle that they need to get over in order to be the most effective leader they can be for both the organization that they lead, the people that they lead, and the wife and children that they may have at home?
Spouse, children.
Sorry. Thank you. What is that? What is the thing that the spouse needs to know, the kids need to know, or they need to get over so they can do all those things?
When purpose is absent, immaturity will enter the conversation. It'll enter the conversation through your own mind, and it'll also enter the conversation through your spouse.
Yeah.
And if you're not clear on what you're here for, then all of a sudden, every single thing that happens that doesn't go how you want it will be seen as a slight. And then you will enter the belief that your life is out of control and it's no longer manageable.
Yeah.
And that is wholeheartedly inaccurate. And so I would just say, for yourself, be very clear on purpose so immaturity doesn't take over your mind. I don't know how you handle it with your spouse. I'm very grateful that we entered in same purpose, like same clarity. But if you're not there, I don't know what you do with that, because, and I don't say that negatively. I say that, like, I have seen people in ministry clear on their purpose, managing their life well, not every day well, managing their life well.
Right.
But the spouse saw the constant slight because they didn't want a life that was filled with weekends. Like, it always makes me laugh when people enter church work and they're like, we work weekends and holidays.
Yeah.
Like, all of them.
Yeah.
We work all of them in addition to other things.
Right.
And I think one of the things that Caleb said to me early on is we were talking about someone who left their work in ministry to go work a 9 to 5. And his statement that was so profound, and I didn't get his permission to quote him, but he's cool.
Yeah.
He'll be good. Is he said, it was really impactful to me, is he said, they think that they're going to go and work a 9 to 5 and the rest of their life is going to be easier and they're going to be able to do everything they want. What they don't realize is that with the lack of purpose, that 9 to 5 is going to be so soul sucking to them that they're going to come home every night and collapse because they're completely fatigued because they're not operating without purpose. Yep. And I remember he said that and it was just like, oh my goodness. And that if we're pursuing balance, we're always going to be exhausted because we feel like we're failing the expectations of everyone else. Yeah. But if we're pursuing purpose, then we will find balance, not in a short window, but over the longer window of seasons of our lives.
Yeah. The purpose thing always kind of finds its head rearing up in the middle of whatever you're trying to figure out.
That's
almost
good.
Every time. So episode 203, were you going to name it balance is a myth, or
let's call it don't exhaust yourself from immaturity.
Don't exhaust yourself from immaturity. How about that? There we go. Thank you for joining us today, episode 203, the 7 conversations on the top 7 leadership lessons has come to a close. I don't know what's going to happen next week, but I'm excited to see what happens. Hopefully you can join us next week. Make sure you subscribe and make sure you get this downloaded to your favorite podcast platform every Wednesday morning. Also, visit leadinghope.online to get updates. Find out more about the Leading Hope community as we continue to get better together every week, learning from whatever God has for us every day. I'm so excited to join you in that journey. And remember, everyone has 20 minutes to learn to become a better leader. Make it count.